So good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's been a hectic real life, so we are ready to dive into a hectic fantasy life. Here at Movers and Shakers. Quick roll call. I will note we will not be having Corporal Calvin Rushmeyer with us this evening. He is feeling a little under the weather, so make sure to send him all your warm regards and maybe some. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. So roll call: John Gage / Major Warren.
Well, I'm here.
Kiara Tawo and Tax.
Hello.
Ivan Ash
Hi.
and Muwata Tanaka.
Ready for duty.
All right. So to very quickly summarize where we last left off, the crew had just finished their second mission document provided for them for this particular week, and was given their 2 days leave, which was to lead into 1 day patrol with the Blues before any new assignments were to be given to them. You did get your first day, so we're going to go around the gambit and sort of talk through what you guys, as characters, chose to do with your first day off. That way we have it sort of on record. As Mwada, you know why we're doing this. So we're going to go ahead and start with you. If you wanted to go ahead and fill out what you did for your first day and how you started your second morning off.
Okay. Yeah, Mwana tries to take advantage of his time off with family. So they just kind of chilled out at home, I think, for the most part, probably. I don't remember what I typed up last week. But as well, he likes to get some running and workout in, typically before the day. Just kind of gets his body and shape, ready to go for the day. Not extremely tired out. So that's what he would be doing the second morning. I don't remember exactly at what time this all kind of kicks off. But that's at least what he would start with, and then be heading back home. Breakfast and hang out for the morning. But he enjoys free running, parkour, that type of thing.
Okay.
His main workout.
For your second morning, if you want to let everyone know what happened just about 12 minutes before the 10th hour on your personal line.
Yeah, I mean, he'd start to reach out to. I guess
You're the only one that knows about this letter. No other player has been made aware of this.
Oh, so I'm just saying what happened, not how they're being pulled into this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, some just end up coming across his cell phone or something that he's getting another document pushed across. Just flagged as urgent. From results under review of another document, which was our honeydew retrieval, bringing her in. Informant has provided actionable information flagged as critical in response. Unit 22 is to provide on-ground assets for intercept of substance deemed as Grade 1 hazard. Briefing begins on arrival of unit's primary combat personnel. The Armory has already been contacted to expect requisitions.
So that would be probably mid-breakfast after your run. Something like that.
I would just, give a good sigh. I think the crew is going to love me for this one. And apologize to the wife and get ready for trying to get everybody back into the office.
Who would you like to try and reach out to first?
Probably most worried about getting John there, so I'll start there.
Okay. So John, we're gonna go off starting with what you did on your first day off. And then about 11 o'clock, you're going to be getting in the following morning. You're going to be getting a phone call, so you'll be able to react accordingly.
Right. Well, as you guys all know, John has been trying to get over some substances that he acquired the night before. So he's mostly just been sleeping this off. Mostly.
Mostly.
I mean, to a point, you got to understand, being able to like touch things and apply electricity to them, you can't completely sleep that off. You should see what I did to the fish tank.
Yeah, I just don't want to know that I don't have to report it.
So again, about 11 in the morning, Gage, your company provided phone goes off. Now,
How
whether or not
long
you
does
answer
this stuff last?
you are so at this point, you probably didn't sleep all that well. I do need a con save on your end.
Con save.
If you actively tried to get a full night's rest.
Con save.
And I need to know, did you try to imbibe anything else during the evening?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
He was told to be somewhat cautious of
Of
consumable
mixing.
substances. I just don't know if he remembers. Like, he was told to consume some things.
I was
He was
told to consume
to
stuff?
hydrate. You were told to hydrate and stay hydrated.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
It does, but you would wake up. I'm waiting on the stay. Please let me know the results. I am red boxed on Roll20, so
Yeah.
I'm not seeing results in real time.
I was still getting figuring out what my role is going to be, but it's coming right now. I'll let you know. It was a 12.
Okay. So you would wake up probably several times throughout the night, just sweating fiercely, cotton mouth. It's not pleasant. Fortunately, it wasn't so bad that you were unable to get like an okay amount of sleep to be a functioning human the following morning. But you probably just are waking up for probably the 7th or 8th time when the phone goes off.
Right. Well, obviously, I'm going to screen the call to figure out who's calling me before I pick up.
I'm assuming you're using your company phone, Murata?
If that's what it came across on, yeah.
I mean, it's entirely if what do you feel like you would need to use to actually get hold of Gage?
I mean, I guess that's potentially more a question to him as to what does he more typically screen. If I can get work stuff on my personal device, he probably would push it over so that then, like, I'm only carrying one device and he's going to be he needs to get the stuff. So being able to use one device would be nice. So if he would answer my personal one, I would use it, but I don't know what he typically answers.
What do you say, Gage?
Well,
basically, Mawada's name is coming up either as a work phone or a personal phone. Which one are you more likely to answer? Because I feel like he by now would know.
I mean,
you're
I'm
going to end up with like
assuming
2
I
calls.
still, yeah.
Or are you just going to screen his call altogether?
I'm probably going to screen his call a couple times.
So if the first one doesn't answer, it's going to come from the other number.
Yeah,
like, right
because
after
I mean,
that.
you know the way it is. It's your day off. And your boss calls you and he's like, you know what? If it's really important, they'll call back.
Mm-hmm.
And he
I
called
A
call
back.
few
immediately.
times. But eventually I will pick up.
All right.
If he doesn't answer after like 2 calls, I start like just texting everybody, and then I will go back through and call, just so that people have awareness. I like texts.
Okay. So, you say you reach out to the rest via text while trying to get him on the phone?
If he doesn't answer after 2 calls, yeah, I'm probably just gonna blast out and then start calling again, because I need to get people on the phone to know. Like, I need confirmation. If they reply back to me in text, I'm like, okay, good, you're on your way. That's good enough. If not, I will call them and just
Okay.
cycle through.
Um,
Back to John first.
So, in the nature of keeping you put on the spot, what would your text say?
Hope you're enjoying your time off. By the way, we've got an urgent mission. I'm sure we can work out to recoup time off. Let me know when you're on your way into the office.
Hope you enjoyed your time off. It's over.
Yep. I mean, there's not a good way to put that in text. So
It really
Right.
isn't. So I'll say several minutes go by before you're chomping a bit. I'll leave it to Ash and Tewo as far as the humanoid individuals. The mechanical unit doesn't really have a choice. You tell it to go to work. It's got to go to work.
It's already there.
Yeah, it literally lives at your base of operations. And so Tewo and Ash, you receive the text basically saying, "Hey, time to go to work." There is no response from Calvin, so he has a nice story reason for not showing up tonight.
yeah, I feel as though I'm still going to end up being working on getting John there the most for typical issues like this. So I'll keep calling him, because I figure maybe if I just keep calling, he'll get annoyed with his phone ringing. If it doesn't go directly to voicemail, that's a good sign. So I'll start there, and then I'll work on calling other people if I haven't had a text back from them yet. Give them a chance to respond by text.
So we'll pan the camera over to Pax/Kiara to try and sort of describe how your day off went and how what little of your second day off was going when you get the bzz, 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 text telling you time to get to work.
Well, Kiara had been spending it with a previous teacher, discussing theories, uh, probably involving technology, discussing a couple projects that she's working on, um, in between actually working on said projects like a scatterbrain. Um, was probably the most of her day and night. And when she gets the text, she responds promptly because she's trying to be a model employee. Are we employees?
You're technically an employee. Trying really hard to get that rank back is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So about the time that you're about ready to call Gage for the third time, you do get a message from Kiara, and I'd imagine a boot sequence confirmation from MU Tax. So that leaves the new girl who just got issued this brand new phone. Probably didn't even get a chance to set up everyone's phone numbers with cute little ringtones and whatnot. The time of the text would be just a little after, probably about 11:20ish, give or take.
So like right when I'm on the way to church. Okay.
Because it would have been, it was Thursday, so this would be Matthew. Yeah, it should be Saturday morning. My fair warning, my math, like my days may be off, but this is just true to life. So I think I said it was Thursday when y'all did the honeydew heist. You had the rest of that day. No, so it should be Friday.
Okay.
So yeah, driving to your noon hour gospel and
Yep. And it's just like, oh, fuck. Work again. And I would basically just turn around and go to work.
Okay. So Gage, you finally answer the phone.
Right.
Eventually.
okay? Gage, you okay?
What do you want?
Day off got canceled. I need you to come into the office, unfortunately. We got some valuable intel. I think we get to play with some more hazardous materials.
I'm already handling some hazardous materials.
Can you handle hazardous materials for a work issue, not just personal issues?
This was a work issue.
Because I don't know. I'm trying to remember how much Moana actually knows of what actually happened.
Right.
You are aware he got dosed. You are aware that the romantic pixie honeydew said that he was going to be very drained come the next day if he did not keep up his hydration, which is entirely up to him whether he did or not. That's kind of the worst case scenario she gave.
Okay. You might need to come in just to get checked out then. Have you been chugging water?
I've been hydrating.
With water?
Who drinks water?
People that don't want to feel like you're feeling apparently right now. I like
Look,
water.
I know how to handle a hangover, all right?
So you're going to come into the office? Are you good to go on mission?
I'm going to say no. I do not feel like I am good to go on a mission. It is, it may be detrimental to, like everybody else.
Okay. Then can you get in a little bit later, at least today? Get in, get checked out, make sure that, have a medic look at you, make sure that we don't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah.
I need that much.
Medical clearance, got you.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know what they say. And get some rest. We'll make do. Yeah, and then I just let him go. I guess if we can get Major on, that still gives us enough of a crew. It's not like what they said specifically combat personnel, but I mean, basically our whole unit is combat personnel, so. And I'm guessing as well, I'm not getting any, I haven't had sorry, I guess I'm trying to think of who I haven't actually had a text from. So I haven't had a text from Calvin or Major.
Yeah, you haven't heard anything from Calvin or Major. Ash didn't say she responded, just that she turned around and started driving.
Did you contact Major?
Everyone in the crew got the text.
Okay, everyone got the text.
Yeah, I'd probably go after Calvin next. As long as like the lag time isn't too long. Like I don't want to give Ash too long of a time being new to the crew, but then again as well, this was unexpected and it's just joining a crew, so I expect I'm fine with some delay. So I'd probably call Calvin next.
It goes straight to voicemail.
Suppose I leave a voicemail.
The mailbox you're trying to reach is not set up at this time.
Is that the response I've gotten? I'm like, I don't know if I've ever tried to leave him a voicemail before, but there's a decent chance.
That is likely the chance. If calling his work phone, that is likely the response you have gotten.
Do I have another number for him?
I'm not his player, so I'm gonna say possibly, but that one would end up going just to voicemail.
Okay.
I like Major's response.
I'd give Major a call then at that point just to talk more directly. Saying, well, I mean, I'd like it to be a conversation, but they said grade 1 hazard substance. So, maybe something a little bit more. I mean, I don't know. That's as much as I got. We are ground assets. I don't know what our range is. I don't know civilian potential.
Probably not, Ash. The work phones do not like group messages.
Is this a group chat?
You can lobby with your superior officers to allow that feature, but as of right now, no. But barring Gage and Calvin, by the time that safe to say Warren, I'd imagine, is probably the last one to arrive. Depending on what he was doing prior, since Ash was already in a car, Tewo was within not too far distance from within the city, and again, Tax just exists there.
Realized I messed up my previous post.
Like he does actually respond to all the incoming texts, so that I got it. I mean, yeah, I would try several times with Calvin as well, not getting a response. It is what it is, and we'll talk about it when we get there. Because otherwise, it's find his address from personnel files, which in theory I have access, or maybe I've been to his house before. I don't know. And
you absolutely have his personnel files. That as the unit commander, you have.
I mean, I guess if by chance he lives super close to me, I could swing by. But
I haven't discussed that with the player. We'd have to find out. But long story short, if you do swing by, the house is dark. There's no car in the driveway. I mean, he's not known for driving anyways.
yeah, I figured there's a good chance we're not close together, but I don't know. I guess we all work. They've got dorms or like on-site barracks types. I thought you had said
You do.
something like that. So maybe.
His bus passes on the driveway.
And then yeah, probably give Ash a call before I got there as well, since I hadn't heard a response.
You got a text from her saying, "Feck
Oh.
on my way."
Okay. I'd respond back. Yeah, I missed that one.
So, as the crew arrives at Unit 22 quarters, Lord, remember your damn NPC's names. That'd be a good start, right?
Right.
Major Galston is in your lounge, currently looking at the speed rack on the bar, kind of muttering to himself when you walk in.
Morning, sir. Need a drink?
He's going to give you this look of need, yes, but also no. Like, he's probably told you that you're supposed to, you need to get rid of this.
Oh, well then yeah. Oops.
But at the same time, he doesn't really push the matter. And when Major Warren comes in, there is the side comment that I see you're doing the cheap scotch again. I know we pay you better than that.
Does he though?
That's what I leave in the bar. You
All right.
good stuff out there. These hooligans.
Yeah, the new girl was there less than 10 minutes, was breaking into the bar.
In bars of four, right?
I guess. Anyhow, hooligans, go ahead and take a seat. We'll go ahead and get our very formal briefing out of the way, because we do not have a whole lot of time. Makes a motion towards Tewo as the group's sort of tech person. This is what you know to flick a switch that applies a electric shielding around the lounge to try and prevent any exterior sensors from listening in. And he hopes to God it is working. Because, budgets.
We definitely don't tamper with stuff like that.
Oh, I so tamper with that.
Don't say that loud though.
She actually flicks a totally different switch. He's very confused.
I'm waiting for his cell phone to explode.
But anyhow, assuming that you activate it as requested, once it is on, he absolutely pours himself a scotch and shoots it. It clearly, probably the first time he's been able to relax in the last 48. So I'm going to cut it to you straight. We've been trying very hard to not cross the people we're about to send you against. Because they're good for business. As you know, I mean, we're not good people. We're a business. unfortunately, due to our contract with the Blues, we've got to follow through and burn a bridge or two. So you're effectively going up against the German mob today. It is my understanding that no one here has direct ties to said organization, at least none that came up in your background checks.
All three.
Moana's like over there in the corner, all three. Very not so subtle. The place that you'll be engaging will have rooftop access, ground floor access. If you have any other creative means of access, now would be the time to employ it. We are expecting upwards of 30 armed personnel protecting this particular shipment that we are attempting to shut down. You will be going in full tack and full uniform. And you are not to let anyone out alive. Now, when I say that, I would like he's strongly looking at the switch, the shielding switch. I would like it if we can get at least one person to flip. As I said, these individuals are good for business.
Sorry, what was the last word he said there? I didn't hear it clearly. One person at least to
Flip.
Flip.
Yeah, someone who we can get on the payroll.
Gotcha.
There is an individual, a Vincent Rickenbacker, who we believe will be on task. There's a small cutout picture, no file attached to it, that he hands first to Moata and clearly be passed around. Unfortunately, I can't give you all the picture because of the whole net issues. But you catch a dirty blonde-haired, sort of hazel-eyed, pockmarked, but otherwise fairly bulky individual. This is one of Blutmann's chemists. He is expected to be part of this delivery as sort of a final proof of concept or testing, what have you, to prove that the goods are of the quality that they promised to the client. The client, as a note, is another mercenary group. So if there are any of them and you would like a bonus pay, collect tags.
So are we going to the meet, or are we catching them before the meet?
You're catching them during the meet.
Okay.
You will be assisted by the 82nd. In that their only purpose is to shut down the block. They will not be going in the building with you. So basically, once the shit hits the fan, it's all you until it bleeds out onto the streets. We would really like it to not bleed out on the streets. We already have a helo that will deposit anyone among your crew that you intend to deploy topside. And we have your unit APV already fueling up at the moment for ground delivery.
When they're blocking off the block, are they doing this loud and proud, or they're waiting until we are in to start blocking off?
They will wait until you are in place to begin the shutdown.
Okay.
And it will be under the guise of a gas leak. All told, as I said, we are expecting your GM's having a blank. I think I said 30 armed. We do not know how many mercenary assets will be present as far as collectible tags. I can tell you it will be a 400 credit bonus per tag collected. Don't fight over them. They'll be split amongst your crew. And I remind you that collecting tags is a quiet operation. You will be turning them into me, not to I've already forgotten her name. The lady that you turn all your stuff into. Yeah, tags go to me. So today you guys will be operating as Lance, and the 82nd will be operating as the Shield. Any questions?
Do we know which side requested this as the location for the meet?
My understanding is that Blutmond uses the location frequently, as per the informants gathered information.
With available schematics?
We are trying to pull them up at this time. It's proving unfruitful. The schematics are the blank slate from when the building was first built. There are no later records than that. As far as cameras, automated defenses, anything of that nature. But it is safe to assume that they do have some kind of security and camera system. I have a feeling that that should not be a problem for the most of you.
Yeah, just give them the full tabs on what we're going to be walking into. They'll probably even see us coming. Do we know in relation to what time the meet is supposed to happen, when we are going to be able to get there?
The meet is going to be happening at about 1600. It is hopeful that your trip down to the armory should not take longer than getting you guys out of here before noon, as traffic is a little heavy and we need to swing you around from the north side of town to get the APV in.
Do we have files on any of their crew psych profiles in terms of who would be most likely to flip on them? Because if we're in the middle of a gunfight, we can't be too choosy.
In the grand scheme of things, this is the only gesturing at the picture, the only individual that we have any degree of intel on. We don't know who their members are. They do not brazenly walk around saying I work for Blutmond. It took 5 agents, probably a good 80 plus hours just to confirm this one individual is a member.
And that photo was of the chemist, was that right?
He is the chemist, yes,
Scientist.
or
Okay.
he's at least a chemist. To what degree, I don't know. Again, we've got limited intel on this. This is why, well, let's to be frank, you psychopaths are being sent in. For the
Well, it's not
record,
exact-
if you level the building, I will not be mad.
Just kind of looks around the room for a second. Tiltness head like, well, that could be an option.
Good to know
Keeps
it
us
is an
out of there.
option.
I will note that it cannot look like a controlled demolition, not like last time.
It's supposed to be a day off. We got to play at least a little bit.
What happened last time?
We don't talk about last times. We only move forward.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan is to only spare someone if they squawk?
If they
Yeah.
squawk convincingly.
The thing is, if you shoot at them, they're probably just going to start shooting back at you or run.
On top of this, if you do manage to secure the actual meeting, which we believe will be held on the 14th floor, as a note, if you secure the substance in question, that is a bonus to pay, and it is considered as the message went out, a grade 1 hazard, so should not be interacted with any bare skin.
So what exactly is our specific mission? If you're saying it's additional to secure the substance.
The full mission terms are to go in and eliminate all individuals associated with this exchange.
Okay.
You will have, depending on how you engage, the Blues plan to take at least a degree of credit. Fair warning. I know I saved the best for last.
They get all the credit.
If that's how you want to run it, it's your op. You have effectively 1 hour and 15 minutes to plot your infill plan, acquire requisitions, and get out of town so you can get back into town. Oh, and Miss Tewo, this was left for you in my office for some reason. Please don't leave your clothes laying around.
Ah, yeah. Glad to have found that.
Rough night on the town?
Ash, you recognize that as the clothes Honeydew wore on her way in when you dropped her off.
Oh,
They are cleaned.
so she's running around somewhere naked.
Possibly.
I mean, my initial thought would be that she got other clothes, but
I mean, some people's mind go to naked, I guess.
yeah.
I mean, maybe not the best dressed, but, she's at least got, Yeah, I realized trying to elaborate on that didn't make it sound any better because small clothes means nothing.
I will note there is a little heart carved in just beside the left eye that was not there before.
Gonna have to buff that out.
Well, Kiara, if you could pull up anything that they're not getting in terms of schematics, I think that's kind of what worries me the most. We could probably just, go look at Google Images and figure out how big the building is, what it looks like from the outside, see if we can see any cameras where they might post up sentries. Because if this is a building that they own and they come in and they do meetups, they're probably well prepared for stuff like this.
Yeah,
And
that's
not
fair.
knowing the ins. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's fair. Agreeing
Yep.
with you, sir.
Yeah, not knowing the inside is going to be problematic. Knowing the 14th floor, like how close that is to the top, affects who's going in top versus bottom. We might be able, if it's high enough or close enough to the top, we might be able to mostly go in there. That doesn't give us an easy out, though.
I can tell you that the building is 24 floors in full height as far as the original building schematics. But that's, again, prior to any modifications they made after the fact.
Yeah.
How solid is the intel on it being on the 14th floor?
I mean, about as solid that the meet's going to happen.
Okay. How tall are the buildings around it?
You want the highest or the lowest, or the range?
Range?
You have a range from the highest neighboring building only being 18 floors, and the lowest being a little noodle shop, 1 floor.
So
I mean,
we
because
can't
to
post
try and avoid coming down 14 floors or so, we could potentially come from another roof or just have the helicopter hover and smash out a window and repel / swing / jump in.
The windows are without a doubt reinforced, just from the pictures I have of them. That
Reinforced
said,
as in like armored windows or just
Bulletproof.
they are indeed bulletproof. He like rifles through his there's like a little bag he's had sat beside him this whole time. And he pulls out. They're not great pictures. It definitely was like they took most of this last night. In response to the intel. The first floor window that an individual like walked by and did like the little like sneaky camera phone snap. Catches what looks to be a very fine metal lattice between the panes of glass. The thickness of the glass does imply that it should be bullet resistant at worst and bullet, well, air quote proof at best.
rockets.
The lattice you'd recognize as a sort of netting to catch larger projectiles or, objects trying to break through.
I guess one possibility is if they do actually have some regular windows, like for fire egress or something. They might not, but sometimes windows are actually marked like FD for fire department to like go in here. These windows smash easier.
Is there a fire escape on this thing?
There is the fire release plan, best as we can tell, looses out into the attached parking garage and then out onto the main road.
How high is the parking garage go?
The parking garage only goes up to the 5th floor.
Okay. No, partially I'm asking like real world. Like I've seen it from some of the office buildings that I've worked in. Like
Yeah.
it's a straight. I'm up 9 floors.
I don't
But then,
have the intel. It's
I
the
figured we could-
blueprints show that yes, they should have those windows because of legalities, but it's a mob-like organization. The likelihood that they just paid someone to say they in fact did install the fire department regulated windows, I don't know.
Yeah, this is me trying to use real world logic to try
Mhm.
and sneak a way to get into the building.
Yeah, no, that was in character. He's like I don't know if they followed
Yeah.
code on at least some of the windows. That said, I'm sure that they have some kind of plan if a fire happens. We just don't have the intel. We did not know this was one of their buildings.
Okay. Yeah, we could
under a
try to scope them.
freaking like a blue collar, or excuse me, white collar tech company that moved in, as far as records show, only 2 years ago. So we don't know how many times they flipped the ownership. But if you would like, we can get. I mean, if you want to try and get any on-ground scouting, that's entirely up to you. You have until 1600. That's the expected meet time, per the informant. The substance and the people cannot leave that building.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely want to be nearby early, but if this is a normal meetup place for Mafia, they've got to have lookouts. So getting inside early is a problem. I don't know that we could do that. But scouting out, like we could have some flexibility. Looks like Finn is good going up through the roof. I will obviously prefer to be up close. I'm fine to run up flights, but I don't know that everybody wants to be easier to run down than up. And maybe they don't hear it. Well, they're going to notice if a helicopter hovers over the building.
Yeah. What is the normal operation of this building?
The current guise of the building at the moment is a Quintero Tech corporate. They are supposed to be producers of chip integration, as well as research and development for mechanical units. He gestures at tax. Our records show that they've only been in air quote existence for 3 years. And only procured this particular building 2 years ago.
I don't know if there's any chance of it being like under the ground, connected to any other adjacent buildings or anything that might provide a way.
Looking at the schematic, it is absolutely possible. It would have been an after application mod.
Okay.
But like the layout to me looks like there could absolutely be a basement level in the garage, namely.
I'm just trying to think of, like would they have a avenue to go in that's not very heavy security, that it's easy to bypass? Oh, I guess as well, just to make sure the group is fully aware. John is still recuperating from the last mission. He's gonna check in with a medic today. Let me know how things are going. And I have not heard from Calvin. He has not responded to anything. So hopefully he's just enjoying his day off and happens to be unreachable.
Or he's actually making use of his appointment.
The real reason the clothes were returned.
Oh, no.
It's like, what appointment? Gotcha.
cannot reach one of your mana users. Okay, duly noted. And now, if there are no other questions for me, I need to hurry up and get 82nd up to speed.
I think we've got it from
I
here.
don't
Mm-hmm.
Is the objective to eliminate everyone that's in the building or just on that floor?
No one that is outside of the Catch-22s should leave that building, except Mr. Rickenbach, if he convinces you that he will turncoat. If you do not believe he will, well, do what you have to do.
Aye.
I guess Saturday. I guess that's good because in theory, if they do run a front business out of here,
It's Friday.
oh, that could be problematic because if they do run a front business out of this building, then we're also going to have office workers.
That's what the gas leak's for.
But that means that then we're saying, yep, go ahead and go on outside and let them go. So gas leak was the reason for not letting quarantining off the block. But we're also saying now that we are taking out potential people that are here that know nothing about the mafia and are just working for this business. If they do have a front business that's working on Fridays.
But are they?
As he's heading towards the door, he just gives you a look do what you have to do. You will be paid accordingly, and leaves the room.
I have a hard time believing that if they have if they do run a business out of here, I doubt that everybody is part of the mafia. I mean, you want to have that disconnection between a front. You want to have some sort of cover. The more legitimate you make it, the more plausible it is. Which then means we're potentially just gunning down civilians.
But how are we able to tell the difference?
You can't if they're saying don't let anybody leave.
Right.
I quickly looked the site up on Google Maps and hope that it says something about business hours. A lot of times, even regular businesses will sometimes I don't know exactly where they get that data from. I'm not a store that's open for business.
Today's a
But
corporate holiday.
I was saying Major Warren's headline there just got a whole lot more violent, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm worried about. I'm good with.
I'm not sure
Most
they'd want
mission.
to make a deal like this in front of innocents, as it were.
All right, so we've got Muwada trying to check out just broad spectrum information available on the network at the moment. What is anyone else doing?
I need to adjust my loadout because I only have long range weapons. I don't have any close quarters weapons.
Yeah, it sounds like cover through the windows is not going to work.
Yeah, neither will cover from another building. Unless I sit in the helicopter.
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to be able to get through the windows in terms of you could pick off people as they leave. That's not ideal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they walk out on the street or try to escape via the roof.
I would cover a good amount of the exits.
Yeah, but helicopters can't stay up that long.
I mean, hopefully we're not doing this for an hour.
No, it should be in and out rather quickly. Same thing. I'm with you. Fighting down 10 floors or up 14 floors does not sound like the best way to do it. I think we
So
want to circumvent as many floors as possible.
yeah, I mean, I think as well, like as soon as we go in, as soon as we're like touching the building, we're potentially raising alarms. So the longer it takes us to get to that 14th floor, the more time there is to change. If by chance we can get in through like the basement or something, that might be a little bit more stealthy, but
It's still needing to work our way up 14 floors. Ultimately, I think extraction is the roof, not the ground floor. But
yeah.
you know,
I think,
going in through the roof and then having to go down 10 floors doesn't sound that good. And I'm assuming they're not going to give us any of the cool toys for this. You know, like infrared sensors and that kind of stuff, so we know what we were walking into.
I mean, might as well try. They already took her day off.
Yeah.
Um, as well, like in theory, we don't need extraction. If there's nobody else coming after us, we can hang out and just walk out. But I do think that there is value in. Originally, I was thinking we need to come in through the bottom to shut down the elevators. But even if you put a charge in the top of an elevator shaft, that's still going to shut the whole thing down. That'll really slow them down in terms of transferring floors.
Yeah.
I, I think we still need somebody to come in from the bottom, though, to bottleneck off anyone coming out.
Well, I've got two things. One, I could try seeing if I can acquire blueprints or information on the tech in the building, the cameras and the like, security systems. The
Yeah,
other
that's
thing is, if you're not averse to magical means, I have the ability to let someone fly or open up a wall or a door or a floor or a roof.
opening a wall would get us straight into the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do that from a helicopter.
It it takes a minute, but yeah.
Enough for everybody?
Uh, it's 5 feet wide.
It's enough people to get through.
Stays
While you're
around.
Yeah.
checking the like you're Google mapping it, figure out what the buildings around it are. Because like we're saying, out of a helicopter, but can we even fly a helicopter next to the building? Are there other buildings surrounding it that we might have to just go from one building to another?
The highest building is only 18 floors, so it is enough that you have roof access. That much was laid out in the setup. I will say, but now your Google Maps will have pulled up. They have some like stock image quality, like happy people, like it's great to work here, kind of nonsense. And it notes that they are a 4-day-a-week business because we value our employees' mental well-being.
Yep. Friday through Monday.
And that makes some sense. Yeah, that they wouldn't be doing meets like on a work day in terms of who's in the office and who's seeing who.
That would be a dick move, Scorgan.
It's the mob.
Yeah, but it's a
Ugh.
front. Yeah, you could have 3 days off all the time, but you got to work on the weekends all the time. But no,
But their first day off is Taco Tuesday.
that is true. As far as like painting the map around, the 18-story building at best looks to be a sort of hodgepodge office building, like rented out sort of. You got lawyers in there. You've got a couple construction contractors that operate out of there. It's a varied clientele. Most of the smaller buildings in that area follow suit. Some of them also being like smaller tech companies. A lot of investment like management firms, and then there's the noodle shop, which has as of right now, a 4.3 rating.
So we're stopping for noodles after.
Works for me. I'm trying to think out a way around having somebody that's at the bottom that their sole purpose is really keep people from getting out. I mean, I guess one problem is they can come out multiple floors.
Well,
if they actually,
the Blues want partial credit for this. They can cover the bottom. Anybody who comes out gets shot. Since we're not ever going to come out the bottom.
this being the Blues, are more likely to try and arrest who is coming out the bottom instead of just straight up shoot them.
I mean,
plus I don't want to be on news just gunning down people that are running.
yeah,
we should
I prefer to be in the building when we do all our gunning. Let the cops gun everybody that comes out the front.
I mean, in theory, then this building is empty except for those coming in for the deal. So
Hopefully.
maybe it's all right around the 14th. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to travel back to the 14th.
Maintenance, on-site security, as far as like the actual company, those are the kind of things you would expect. Like they still have, you know, multi-million dollars worth of equipment and whatnot that they want to keep secured. But far as your intel from Google confirms, they should not have anyone in the office today.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they are a tech company, Tewo.
And they work on mechanical units.
And they work
Yeah.
on mechanical units.
It sounds like a candy shop to me.
I mean, if they're fine with us blowing up the building, we can definitely bring back a couple presents for tax on our way out.
I mean,
Yeah, I think.
techs
Go ahead.
could cover the ground floor. We're going for major shooting, but it's mostly for guaranteed kills.
Yeah.
My other problem with the ground floor is like the garage goes up 5 floors. Like if that's connected, if they can, I guess maybe it's only actually connected on the ground floor.
His description to make things clear is it is connected to the first 5 floors.
Okay, that's what I was worried about. That it's nice and easy to use, but that means they can leave on the first 5 floors. So you kind of having to try and cover 5 floors, or you go up to the 5th or 6th and just try and cut them off there. There's going to be most likely more than one stairwell. I assume somebody enjoys explosives, or if nothing else, just drop a grenade in an elevator shaft, and that should shut it down.
I'm looking at the middle user descriptor right there.
Yeah. But we don't need anybody to make us a meal, though. We're going to get noodles after this.
But just close off a couple of the exits and leave them with just one.
So nuke the elevators from the top floor.
I mean, I was thinking just a grenade or small explosive. I don't think we need to nuke it. It might cause us health problems. But, setting up something in the stairwells as well could really help funnel them into a single stairwell. That would have to be a little bit bigger than.
On some poison gas.
Yeah, if that lingers, that would cut off access.
All right. So, Tewo, you were also trying to pull up, or are you waiting until you're on site to connect to their network to try and pull up more information on the building?
I mean, whichever one seems more likely.
The on-site network is likely to give you access to the electrical grid outline, depending on how your search succeeds or fails.
I mean, if they have a automated security system, getting into the system there could help close some things off.
At this point, you in character have just over an hour and quarter before you need to be on the road.
Right. Well, you guys continue to work out your plan here. Obviously, we're probably going to want to requisition some stuff. If anybody's got anything they would like requisitioned, give me a quick list because I'm going to go over and start acquiring items.
Because if I remember right, you're just last night you were whining and dining some of the Armory Bros.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go with him to
Keep your friends close and your enemies within the range of your primary weapon.
I mean, it definitely won't question last night at all now. But I'm sure it pays off. My problem is the things that I would go for are like very expensive, as I recall.
As long as you turn them back in.
So I believe Warren and Finn asked if it's cool if she goes with Warren, or is just saying I'm going with Warren. I couldn't catch which one it was.
Yeah.
I was just going with Warren.
Okay.
Since he mentioned that he wine and dined the armory.
I'll note Tewo. You know that if the door opens again, you need to flick that shielding off. And it has like a couple minute cooldown before you can turn it back on.
Yeah, I was leaving it on because we were still discussing sensitive things.
Yeah, well, the door's been opened once, which kind of weakened it. If it gets open again, you have a chance of shorting out the building.
Oh, yeah. I'll click that off.
Officially speaking, you've got yourself, you've got Tewo, you've got Finn, you've got Warren. I believe Tax has been voluntold as far as getting positioned somewhere, but likely the only one you're missing is Calvin as of right now.
Right.
So where we are going to wrap up, because I'm expecting a little more planning, obviously, especially when y'all get on site.
Yeah.
Or believe me, if I could CAD out a beautiful 24-story building, I would. But every time I try to do it, my brain just kind of melts because then I got to go do something else, and I come back halfway like, what the fuck was I doing? But that said, this is where we're going to fade to black. Get as best you can your requisition requests to Warren, so that when we pick up, he'll be able to make the roll and see how successful he was in getting everything within reason. You already know that you have the APV, you have the helicopter as far as vehicles are concerned. Your normal kit, your combat kit is going to be provided to you, which is your primary preferred weapon. I believe I said it comes with 2 clips minimum whenever this is issued to you. Obviously, the armor. So those are things that you should already expect as part of your kit. Yeah. But otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and call it here.
Okay.
I'm glad we were able to get some of the planning done, because this is one of those like almost Shadowrunny things where you'll spend like 5 hours planning and then 20 minutes of getting shot at and then dying.
Yay.
But we'll see. I mean, the boss man said you are fully allowed to just level a 24-story building. So
Uh huh.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other approach